Ho, 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 ho!
On the 8th day of Breachmas, my true love gave to me 8 people to follow to understand more about human behaviour. Here's the list. So first person I recommend is Matt Artz, and Matt Artz is an anthropologist and project manager, and he specialises in advising people how to apply anthropology to technology. He's got a fantastic podcast on that very subject, as you can see from this image. I really highly recommend you listen to it. It's great stuff. Also, keep your eye out that later on next year I am collaborating for a book with him. Next one is Bec McKeown. Bec McKeown is a human science expert, so she uses her specialism in psychology to apply to crisis resilience, cybersecurity. I came across her when she was the director of human science at Immersive Labs for their crisis simulation platform. Read a lot of her stuff, but she's also a fantastic public speaker and will soon be a guest on the show. Next up is Dr. Dave Burkus, who has written a book called Build Your Best Team Ever. He is a keynote speaker and organisational psychologist. He does these fantastic videos on LinkedIn, really short and punchy, to become a better leader. And when it comes to cybersecurity, it really is all about leadership and guiding people to do the right things. Also a guest with us next year. Next up, a man who needs no introduction if you like anything to do with behavioural science, Rory Sutherland, Vice Chairman of Ogilvy. The things that Rory talks about and does is numerous. I mean, he's a great podcast guest on anything I've ever listened to him do. He's got his own courses using behavioural science for marketing and for nudge. Nudgestock is also one of his things, which is a great conference that happens every year about using behavioural science. Go seek him out. He's fantastic. I'm trying to get him as a guest. Next up is Dr. Eliza Filbury. Now, Dr. Eliza Filbury is another one who has a great online presence, really fun, short, punchy videos on her LinkedIn that I absolutely adore and look forward to them coming out all the time. Now, she is a specialist speaker who looks at the history of generations, and she also has a podcast called It's All Relative, which I highly recommend. Now, I'm really interested in her work because I would like to see how we apply our understanding of all the different generations and how they approach cybersecurity. Maybe in the future I can get her as a guest. Melina Palmer, a lady that probably needs no introduction if you've been a fan of the podcast for a little while. She is the host of the Brainy Business podcast and author of 3 great books. Definitely check her out to see how you can use behavioural economics to improve buy-in for your initiatives. Again, another one, if you're familiar with the podcast at all, you will know Christian Hunt. He was one of our first few episodes. He is the author of Humanising Rules and the founder of Human Risk, a consultancy and training firm that brings behavioural science to ethics and compliance. He's also the book of Humanising Rules, which I highly recommend. Check out his episodes in the comments below. Not quite a person, but if you've not read this book yet, Nudge by Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein, what are you really doing? And now this is applicable to any job, I would say, this book. It's all about how you get people to make better decisions by becoming a choice architect. It's a seminal book and an absolutely must read for anyone who's interested in influencing other people. And I guess that's everyone.
Ho, 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 ho!